For 75 years, News Channel 3 has covered West Michigan. Now, it's time for WWMT's 75th Anniversary Special.
Thank you for joining us for our News Channel 3 75th Anniversary Special. We're glad you're with us. I'm Andy Dominiani.
And I'm Jessica Hardhorn. Of course, we're joined by Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson, too.
Thank you so much. Good to be here, of course. You know, many of you invite us every day into your home as the main crew for our evening newscast. But as some of you know, just like West Michigan, WWMT has a rich history full of many faces.
And we sure do. In our 30-minute special, we're going to cover 75 years of our history here in West Michigan. We're covering everything from the people who've worked here over the last 7 decades plus, all the way to some of the most popular segments at our station. Morning anchor Julie Williams will take us back to when it all began. WKZO-TV, what we've all come to know as WWMT, putting out its first TV signal in 1950. And broadcast pioneer John Fetzer, who made it all possible. But who was John Fetzer really? You might be surprised to learn what he was doing prior to the beginnings of our TV station.
But all before that, the Channel 3 Clubhouse and the thousands of kids that got to be TV famous for even just a day. Now, all of those kids, of course, are adults, and I spoke with a few of them on what it was like to be part of that iconic show. And what's TV without some music? Some of you may remember the Green Valley Jamboree, a show based around the country group called the Green Valley Boys, who played with our station for decades. Reporter Mackenzie Decker talks with the son of the band's founder as he experienced it all as a kid.
And finally, where are they now? We catch up with people throughout the years, some of whom you're almost certain to remember. And it's been a blast for me to work on these stories because I worked with many of them. So without further ado, buckle in and get ready for 30 minutes of pure nostalgia as part of 75 years of celebration.
Well, from different owners to the biggest broadcast antenna in the world at one point to eventually moving across town to expand. Our station's gone through a lot in 75 years. But through all of those changes, our mission to bring you the best quality local news and programming remains unchanged. News Channel 3's Julie Williams has more on how it all got started.
In 1931, we were WKZO, the only radio station in Kalamazoo owned by Mr. John Fetzer. By 1939, WKZO was building their new studios at the Burdick Hotel. That's in the area where the Radisson Hotel is. WKZO stayed here until 1956, and they moved from the 7th floor down to the Black Long Radio City on the 2nd floor. Mr. Fetzer got the license to operate a TV station in 1949, and on June 1st, 1950, WKZO TV3 debuted. The first local newscast aired in 1953, and then we started transmitting with the biggest TV antenna in the world in August 1954. And then in 1955, the Channel 3 Clubhouse hit the air. 1956 was another big year. Mr. Fetzer bought the land here at 590 West Maple Street in Kalamazoo and started building the broadcast house. He was also part owner of the Detroit Tigers, and WKZO aired the games, including when the Tigers won the World Series in 1968 and 1984. A broadcast tower was built near Gun Lake in 1960, extending our coverage area. And then in 1968, we got color TV.
In full spectrum color.
Mr. Fetzer sold the station to Gillette in December 1985, and we changed our call letters to WWMT. We're West Michigan TV. Bussy Broadcasting bought the station in 1987, and then Granite Broadcasting bought us in 1995. That's also the same year WKZO moved out of the TV station and into their own building here. Freedom Communications bought us in 98, and our current owner, Sinclair, bought us in 2011. That's also when we went to high definition. And then in 2023...
He just said, he's got an explosive voice and just kind of started pushing his way past.
News Channel 3 was the target of a bomb threat. Thankfully, everyone was okay and police arrested the suspect. So a lot has changed for WWMT in the past 75 years, but our commitment to local news and our viewers hasn't. Reporting in Kalamazoo, I'm Julie Williams for News Channel 3.
Channel 3 Clubhouse welcomed thousands of children to our studio to become a part of our live broadcast. And to this day, many of those guests fondly remember that opportunity, and some are sharing their photos and memories with me. We bring folks in from Three Rivers, Battle Creek, and Sturgis all together who have that fun childhood experience in common.
Here's that famous pillar.
At a picnic table in Skidmore Park in Three Rivers,
There was some, must be some brownies or Girl Scouts in the background.
sits three women with a shared past.
And this looks like a puppet show right here.
Nearly 50 years ago, they were invited to be a part of Channel 3 Clubhouse.
I think she was excited that, she couldn't believe that she was on TV, like, wow, that's me.
Chris Gonzer of Sturgis tells me her daughter April sat in the front row of the Christmas special in 1981. She remembers the host asking, "What do you like to do for Christmas?"
And what did she say?
Bake cookies with my mom.
And how did that make you feel?
Good.
You got a shout out on live TV
She
for
was,
your 5-year-old.
Yeah.
April Geigley says her mom's photo album from that day brings her childhood memories to life.
I was kind of an outgoing child, but shy at the same time. So I was kind of like, okay, this is where there's a bunch of cameras and a bunch of lights, and I'm sitting here with people I don't know, but it was fun.
Your mom put you on TV 43 years ago,
Yeah.
and now she's putting you on TV again.
Yeah.
Everything comes full circle, right?
Right.
And this was after they had been on.
Ruth Ann Cook of Three Rivers says her daughter Cassandra was on Channel 3 Clubhouse in March of 1978 for her 4th birthday. After the show, host Cynthia Kay took a picture with her two daughters on set.
She was so excited with the kids, and yes, I do remember that because she was just such a natural. She just loved being with the kids.
Oh my goodness, all the years flew by.
In April of 1979, the Battle Creek Mothers Twins Club was on Channel 3 Clubhouse.
There's Sonia and there's Cheryl.
Sharon Keck tells us her daughters Cheryl and Sonia were just 3 years old and causing a commotion.
Cheryl was kind of whipping her dress like this, and I'm sitting over her trying to be quiet and saying, "Put your dress down." It was like, and she did. It worked out fine, but they had a good time.
Cheryl Keck says 47 years ago she had no idea she was on live TV.
I thought it was in a cubbyhole library and we were just sitting and gonna read some books or something. Like, I had no idea.
The striped shirts.
A year earlier, in 1978, Kalamazoo resident Troy Meppian says his best friend invited him to go on the show with him for his birthday.
Just, that wide-eyed, 4.5-year-old, oh my goodness, what is this? But I just remember thinking it looked so different.
Decades later, as Troy sits in our studio once again, he remembers the experience sparked his interest in TV production and later became the director of his high school video club.
So, WKZO, WWMT, we've had a strong presence in this community for decades, and now you're a part of our past. How does that make you feel?
It gave us that little bit of attention that said, the city of Kalamazoo, the community is interested in our children.
And for these folks, being a Channel 3 Clubhouse kid still resonates with them today.
So much fun to see those folks again. I recently had the chance to invite a special guest back to WWMT as well, the great nephew of our founder, John Fetzer. As Bruce Fetzer explained to me, his uncle was a remarkable person, an innovator and a philanthropist who explored his passions for broadcasting, science, sports, and spirituality. From a tiny dot of a town in northern Indiana came a man with big dreams. John Earl Fetzer, born in Decatur in 1901, was an inquisitive kid and fascinated by science. He'd assembled a radio transmitter by the age of 16 and created a radio station here in Southwest Michigan, fresh out of Purdue University.
So he built that station from scratch.
And he would soon build a small empire. Fetzer moved his radio station lock, stock, and barrel from Berrien Springs to the Burdick Hotel in downtown Kalamazoo. It would soon become WKZO Radio AM 590. But broadcasting in those early days was a challenge as other stations in other states shared the same frequency. Fetzer, always the inventor, came up with a new device to send radio signals in circle 8s instead of straight lines, so as not to interfere with others on the AM dial. As his great-nephew Bruce Fetzer recounts proudly, that got him noticed by the FCC.
It took him about 8 years working through Congress, 2 trips to the Supreme Court of the United States, but eventually he got the license because he actually brought a new technology to the field.
And the directional antenna.
Directional antenna.
Fetzer was viewed as such a pioneer in the industry that he was appointed by the White House to a very important post. With Nazi U-boats patrolling the U.S. coastline deep underwater, trying to intercept Allied radio transmissions, it became Fetzer's job to censor everything that went over the airwaves that could possibly be overheard by enemy submarines lurking below.
As a result of that, they were able to keep trade secrets during the war and keep our servicemen safe.
When the war was won, Fetzer focused on growing WKZO. By building the station's tower in Gun Lake, he combined the cities of Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Battle Creek into one media market, increasing viewership and revenue.
It was really kind of an ingenious way of actually creating something out of nothing.
And then came another national claim to fame. Fetzer bought the Detroit Tigers, and within a few years won the World Series in 1968. He sold the team just one season before Detroit nabbed the pennant again in 1984. But perhaps John Fetzer's most important contribution when it came to professional baseball was negotiating a network TV contract as a league. It's a deal he brokered from right here in Channel 3 and agreed to share royalties with every team.
What was ingenious about his approach, he said that it doesn't benefit any team to put any other team out of business.
However, to Bruce, John, who had no children of his own, was much more than an uncle. He was also a teacher, a mentor, and a friend.
On a personal level, he was actually quite loving.
His name isn't a trivia question around here, Bruce. Everyone who works here understands his legacy. They understand we wouldn't be here without him.
He understood from the very beginning that actually broadcasting licenses are a privilege and not a right. He was fantastic, and he left quite a legacy, and hopefully others will carry in his footsteps.
It was really great to talk to him. And John Fetzer was a very charitable and spiritual man as well. And the Fetzer Institute continues his mission of helping others. He died 1 month shy of his 90th birthday on vacation in Hawaii with his beloved wife, Rhea. Here at Channel 3, we have many photos of our founder on display, and we're all very aware of the responsibility we have to further John Fetzer's good deeds.
Well, we are just about halfway through our special with more exciting segments on our way. Do you know our station used to air live music and no one played it better than the Green Valley Boys? We'll have some of that footage and parts of an interview that we did with the son of the group's founder.
And how about a little 75th anniversary trivia? In 1985, WKZO-TV changed its call letters to what we have today, WWMT. What do those letters, WWMT, stand for? I'll have the answer when we come back.
You're watching WWMT's 75th anniversary special.
Well, how about a little 75th anniversary trivia? In 1985, WKZO-TV changed the call letters of the station to WWMT. What do those letters, WWMT, stand for? They stand for We're West Michigan Television, going away from just the Kalamazoo television station, WKZO, to a station that represented more of West Michigan. That's why the name changed.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, some of you may remember Rem Wall and the Green Valley Boys on the Green Valley Jamboree.
It was the longest running country music television series in history. Their country music was a hit for decades, and some of the original band members still perform every now and then.
News Channel 3's Mackenzie Decker caught up with a few of those musicians, taking a stroll down memory lane.
Oh, remember me when the candle lights are gleaming.
That song right there, Oh, Remember Me. That was Rem Wall's theme song.
It's a song some listeners from the 70s recognize in an instant. For decades, Saturdays were for Rem Wall and the Green Valley Boys, performing on their hit show, The Green Valley Jamboree. The band played for more than 30 years on WKZO, of course now known as WWMT, striking a chord with West Michigan and even landing a spot in the Michigan Country Music Hall of Fame.
One of Dad's biggest recordings was Home is Where the Hurt Is. Everywhere Dad went in the state of Michigan, everybody wanted his autograph. It was a big hit.
The founder's son, Rendell Wall, remembers countless performances alongside his dad, picking a guitar and singing backup. He says one of the greatest aspects of the show was his dad giving everybody a chance to step into the spotlight.
Somebody would call him up and say, "Hey, Rem, I'd like to come down and audition." And we'd say, "Yeah, come on down."
So it was through the Green Valley Jamboree that Bob Rowe got his start in music. After making his television debut with the Green Valley Boys, Rowe pursued music in Nashville for a while before ultimately beginning his nonprofit, Renaissance Enterprises, bringing music to seniors in our community for the past 38 years.
And it's a different kind of thing, but it's a real human thing that brings so much joy to the receiver and the giver.
Here we go, put your hands together.
After Rem's retirement came a full circle moment when both Walls joined Rowe's Renaissance Band, performing in nursing homes and bringing the musicians together once again.
I grew up idolizing Rem and Rendell and the guys, and so being a part of that history and inviting Rem and Rendell into the programs that I was doing for seniors was a real gift for me and also to the elderly.
And that's where Rendell and Rowe are now.
Sing it again.
Continuing the legacy of country music that began all that time ago between a father and a son, right here on Channel 3.
It had me picking guitar when I was 6, 7 years old. It was a lot of fun.
We're all lucky enough to get older. Sometimes we're forgotten by society, and the music can bring back memories, can make us feel connected to our fellow human beings.
In Kalamazoo, Mackenzie Decker, News Channel 3.
They still sound good.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
All right, don't go anywhere because we've saved the best for last. We've had a lot of faces come and go during 75 years of WKZO and WWMT's broadcast history, but where did they go and what are they doing now? That's coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching WWMT's 75th anniversary special.
As part of our celebration of WWMT's 75th anniversary, Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson here has been catching up with some of the on-air personalities you may remember from years gone by. And you may be asking, hey, where are they now?
Good question. Keith joins us now with a look at the connections he's made so far.
It's been fascinating to do. I really enjoyed doing that. You know, there have been dozens and dozens of faces in front of the camera at WWMT over the last 75 years. And I've had the privilege over the last several weeks of talking with a few of them to find out what they're up to today.
News Channel 3, live at 11.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Judy Marquis.
One of the most remembered personalities from WWMT's history is Judy Marquis, who was at the station for 22 years, most of that time as anchor of the evening news.
During that time, I interviewed lots and lots of people, presidents. I still save some of my badges for press passes to the White House.
Today, Judy lives with her husband in sunny South Florida, far away from West Michigan's cold, snowy winters. She spends a lot of time traveling the world, but no matter how far she roams, Judy says she's still recognized.
I was in Paris and a West Michigan person said, "What are you doing here?" And I was in Hawaii and another person said, "Oh, Judy Marquis, what are you doing here?"
This is News 3 at 11.
Hello, West Michigan. Dr. Jack Kevorkian has...
Judy's co-anchor for many years was Barry Shanley, who was on the evening news desk from 1986 to 1997.
Oh, boy. It was a good time, and I look back on it fondly. I really do.
Since leaving Channel 3, Barry, a native of South Haven, has been coaching area high school golf teams. He currently leads the men's team at Lawton High School, a program he started nearly 30 years ago.
I like the coaching part, the working on the swing and, the mental game and all of that, but I just like working with the kids.
Della DiPietro was hired back in 1980 by Channel 3 founder John Fetzer to be in charge of the women's department. Della produced and hosted 2 daily television programs, Channel 3 Clubhouse and Accent, by herself.
And that was a pretty fast pace. An hour of television, live television, no other producers, no other support. It was just me.
After Clubhouse and Accent ended, Della was a weekend news anchor and reporter. After 9 years at WWMT, she changed careers, moving to the Ford Motor Company, where she worked for 30 years. Today, Della is a personal performance coach, and she's on the Ann Arbor Township Board of Trustees. As Channel 3 sports director from 1990 until 2004, John Koch had a front row seat at a great time for area sports, including covering a Kalamazoo Central High School baseball phenom named Derek Jeter.
The media has changed, obviously. It's more on computers now, but back then we really were the first to show highlights for people, and it was exciting, it was a fun time.
But for John, working weekends, late nights, and holidays covering sports stories conflicted with his duties as a dad to 2 little children. So he left the studio, and today he's a local agent for a large insurance company.
This is News 3 at 5.
Hello, West Michigan. I'm Alicia Smith.
Alicia Smith was a Southern transplant when she began working on the WWMT anchor desk in 2002.
I would go out in the field and work with the photographer, turn a story, and then I would anchor the 5 o'clock news with Jamie Bowl and Judy Marquis and you. It was a thrill for me. I was like, I have made it.
One of the accomplishments Alicia is most proud of at Channel 3 is telling the stories of West Michigan people who were impacted by the 9/11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center. In the 18 years since Alicia left WWMT, she's been bringing the news to television viewers on the east side of the state, where she is the weekday morning news anchor at WXYZ, Channel 7 in Detroit. It's been fascinating doing these stories, and by the way, we're going to continue doing them through the next month.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our 75th anniversary special.
You're part of our history as well. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And here's to another 75 years.